my updated everyday makeup routine for spring, and we're just gonna go ahead and get right into the video. We're not messing around over here, okay? So the first product I've been loving and has easily just slid right into my everyday makeup routine is this Charlotte Tilbury color corrector. Like, I've only had her a couple of weeks now, and when I tell you I use this every day, like I use it every day, like it's not even funny. I love it so much, especially on days where like I haven't slept much, or you know, I mean, I had a couple glasses of wine the night before, and you can see some serious dark circles under my eyes. It has worked wonders to just kind of cover that up, and it's super quick and easy to use. Like, I love it. Like, it doesn't add like a crazy amount of extra time to my makeup routine. Super simple. I focus it mainly under the eye because that's where I have the most darkness on my face, and mainly like in this corner here is where I have the most. And then I've started putting it like on the sides of my face. I had to switch mirrors. But I started putting it on the side of my face here where I have some darkness, just to kind of clean that up a little bit. And that's really the only places that I color correct, is under my eye, and I like to color correct that darkness here, because I had a real bad breakout a while ago right in this spot. So just cover that up. And I like to do this before I go in with my foundation. So I know I've seen people do it both ways. They do it after their foundation, before, but I like to do it before my foundation. So for foundation, this is a fairly new product to me too. I've had this for about a month. Is it a month? I don't even know if this product has been out for a month, but it's the Fenty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. When I tell you, Rihanna can do no wrong. Like, when it comes to makeup, she just gets it. She gets it. Her people get it. Whoever's making these products, they get it. So I like this because it's super lightweight. It feels like there's nothing on the skin, and it's the most skin-like complexion product, face product, foundation that I own. So they do recommend to use this with your fingers, but I like to use it with a brush. So I just put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm using my Real Techniques brush. But I love this. Like, love this. Like, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It, like, I was a little worried when I first started using the Charlotte Tilbury that this specific product, the Fenty Eaze Drop, like it wouldn't work with the color corrector, like it, because it's really light. Like, it doesn't have a crazy amount of coverage. It's definitely not a full coverage product. So I was worried that it wouldn't play nicely with this color corrector, but look at that. Look at that. Yes. It's like such a great product. Like, this skin tint is everything. Everything. And I use the shade 18, just for anyone who might be curious. So, and you can definitely put like some extra coats with this if you want it to be a little bit more full coverage. I don't know that it's gonna build up to like an extreme amount of full coverage, but it will cover. Like, you can do multiple layers and it'll cover a little bit. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're looking for full coverage, I wouldn't necessarily use this for that. But you can layer it up to get like a medium coverage. So it's just such a beautiful formula, and it's so skin-like. Oh my goodness. That's why I love this for every day, because it feels like there's nothing on the skin. It's so lightweight. I love it. Beautiful. Next, I'm gonna go in with my concealer. So this is not new. I've been loving this for years and years and years. I just haven't used it in a while. So most of my concealers kind of all do the same thing. I don't really notice a huge difference in between them. I think I use the Giorgio Armani one, the Luminous Silk Concealer, and that does give a little bit more luminosity, but for the most part, between this one, the Fenty, and the Armani one, they kind of all do the same. So it just depends on how I'm feeling, what my mood is when I wake up, you know? And lately it's been the NARS Creamy Radiant, and I use the shade Caramel. And then I'm just gonna blend that out with my Rare Beauty concealer brush, which I love. It's great. After my concealer, I have been loving this, which is also a newer product to me, is the Charlotte Tilbury setting powder. I've been using the shade 3, so I just use this to set my under eyes. I don't really use it for my whole face, just under the eye. And it really does give like that blurred, like airbrushed look. Like, you know how sometimes names of products like say they do one thing, but they really don't. It's just like a dramatic way to name their product. But this actually does give you that airbrushed look. So kudos to you, Charlotte. Kudos to you. So the interesting thing about that Fenty skin tint is it claims to be self-setting, so you don't really need to like set it down with anything. So there's that, but I still like to set the what am I trying to say? I still like to set the skin tint, even though it says you don't have to. It does feel super lightweight on the skin. It doesn't really feel like, you know, like there's anything on my skin, but I don't know, maybe it's just like a mental thing, but I like to set it. So I usually go in with the Pro Filt'r powder foundation from Fenty, and I use the shade 385. And I don't take a lot of this, but just a little, and just set like around the face really quick. This is like really quickly turning into like a full face of Fenty. But for my bronzer, Fenty Beauty in the shade Mocha Mommy. I've recently tried some other bronzers and they're just not, they're not this. They're not my Mocha Mommy. Like, I don't really know what else to say about that. This just gives like such a beautiful warmth to the face that, I mean. Oh, and I'm using the Real Techniques powder brush. So for the eyes, I kind of forgot to put concealer on up there. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of the Creamy Radiant up here, blend that out. And then we'll start my quick little shadow look. So for my actual eye look, I like to keep it fairly simple and easy. So I typically start with this Juvia's Place palette, and I use the shade Kano, this like warm caramel-y shade here. So I like to just dust that all in the crease. So for the rest of my eyeshadow, I did this in my last video, like playing around with my new Sephora purchases, where I used the Sephora Peach Blossom blush and I used it on my lids and I loved it. So I've been doing that a lot for spring, to just kind of keep it like light and pretty in spring. So I'm gonna go in with this deeper shade and just kind of swish that around, and then I'm gonna put this lighter shade right on my lid. pretty much what I've been doing lately, just to keep it light and, you know, cute for spring. So next I'm just gonna go in and do my brows. And I use the ABH Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. Okay, brows are done. So just to keep it kind of the same and make it super easy, I'm just gonna take that same blush that I put on my eyelid and put it on my cheeks. And I'm just gonna use my Sephora Pro blush brush and I think the number is 96. And I'm actually gonna take, like, mix a little bit of the dark shade, the deeper shade, and the lighter shade. Okay, so next I'm just gonna put on a little bit of gloss, and I'm gonna use the Tower 28 lip gloss, or the Shine On Lip Jelly in the shade Almond. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's everything that I use for my everyday makeup routine. I kept it very quick, very simple, because that's pretty much how I like to wear my makeup every day, especially if I'm just going to work, running errands. Just really quick, really easy. I hope that you enjoyed this look, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!